Right, I'm here with a lovely Robert Bedford today in sunny Middlesbrough, we'll say that, even though you can't tell.
It's alright.
Yeah,
It's not too bad.
50-50. Just a couple of questions for you, lad.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Okay.
That's cool.
So, first off, Robert, what would you kind of class your creative industry as?
I would say I'm in the graphic design industry.
Yeah.
As far as describing said industry, rough.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like sometimes it's like you have to like be able to really what's the word adapt. Like be really used to adapting to like how like workflows come and go.
Definitely.
And that's like the pretty much the best I would describe it as. Yeah, it's like it's all about like learning how to adapt. I think.
Sure, yeah. So, like, I mean, going from that, what would you kind of class as your original inspiration for kind of getting into the industry as a whole, like your origin story?
Right. So I grew up loving Dragon Ball. Yeah. I remember when it aired on Cartoon Network. I remember being the Ocean dub as well, which is hilarious. And I always knew like I always drew anyway, and I'm a massive Sonic fan, like the original Mega Drive games, like my bread and butter. And I could probably write you a map to all Sonic 3 and Knuckles from memory, and I'm not even exaggerating. I know that game inside and out. So I was already drawing a lot as a kid, but I distinctively remember when I got bought the CD single. Does that make me sound old? Shit. Does that make me sound old? The CD single for Gorillaz, 19/2000, and the album cover is this like red mask illustration on a pink backdrop with a white trim.
I do remember that one.
And I have it somewhere in my CD collection, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it so much. And then you open up that CD, it's just like a CD jewel case, so it's not really thick or anything. But the back side of it is another 4 portraits. It's like in a grid, and it's all the 4 like the members.
Yeah, the members.
And I remember getting that, and I must have been maybe 7 or 8. My parents buying me Gorillaz CDs at 7 or 8. Parenting. And I remember being like, I want to do this. I want to make cool stuff like this. And that's like stuck with me. So it's like pretty much like Dragon Ball games and one of the first Gorillaz singles. Because that is like, I rate that much. Even still to this day, I think that's like killer artwork. But that's like, I think that was like when I decided. Yeah, like maybe not like indefinitely, but that was like when I was like, I want to like do something creative. I want to do something cool and make like cool stuff. So I think that sounds about right.
That's as good of an origin story as anyone's seen, like, so I'll give you that. So you know, you're going from this time of like this has been your original inspiration, but how has there ever been a time where you've kind of thought like you've wanted to kind of give up on it? Like, if so, why and like when?
This morning when I was getting out of bed. No, well, there was actually a time where I didn't design. So when I was in uni originally, I did a foundation degree at what's now the Northern School of Art at the Hartlepool campus. I did my foundation degree, and I topped up to get my BA honours at Teesside University. Yeah. And at the time, I suspended my studies to return the year later because I won't get into it, but lots of things happened. When I came back, I just wasn't feeling it. It wasn't for me. And then I basically put my middle fingers up and was like, no man, I don't want to do this. So I left. I think, where was I working at? I was like working at a Wetherspoons at the time. And I'd already been in and out of bands for a few years. And then the band I started around then started. So I was like, I want to do this. I got to change my job to HMV, the one in Middlesbrough, and I just did bands for a few years, and then I kind of fell back into design. So I didn't intend on being my career again. It just kind of, I remember waking up one day and I was like, right, I'm going to go buy a MacBook and relearn everything. So that's what I did. Because a few bands started like getting whispers like, "Oh, you're a designer. Oh, do us a shirt. Do us this." So I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever." And then it was like almost overnight. I fell back in love with the creative flow of things, I guess. So yeah, but there was a time where I just flat out quit, and I was like, it's not for me. And it
still.
wasn't at the time. It wasn't the right headspace,
Yeah.
and I needed that time to kind of. I think it was like burnout as well.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I can understand that.
burnout sucks.
Oh,
Burnout
yeah,
sucks.
not the nicest thing.
It's not.
For me, I've experienced it. It's the worst feeling considering that's what you want to be doing. You know?
Yeah.
It's what you feel like you want to be doing. And it's just like
Sometimes you need it though. I think. I mean, like if I didn't have that, I would have just carried on chugging away. And
and you don't
I
evolve.
wouldn't be where I am now, really. So it's
Yeah.
kind of happy I had this downward spiral, I suppose.
I mean that does leads into my next one is just a simple one of like how do you evolve your work over time?
You carry. Oh God. So
for you specifically.
me specifically,
Yeah.
I'm never satisfied with what I know.
Right.
Like I always like to be learning, regardless if it's like design or just in general. I always like to be learning something, and I think that's just like comes from the case of like I have like a lot of energy, and I'm always like, yeah, I want to know this, I want to do this, I want to experience this, I want to do stuff. So it's always about like when like as I just said, like when I like left and I had to relearn everything. So at one point I would have like my MacBook open and my phone on the side, and I'd be watching like how-to videos of like elements of design I didn't even know existed, and then I started discovering lots of places like The Future, who are I don't really want to say they're like a design studio, but they were and still kind of are, but they're more about like design education now.
Okay.
In America, and they're like one of the dudes who does it, I think he's their director, Chris Doe. He's all about like design education, and I discovered that, and I was like, I'm just hungry. And I realized how hungry I was, so and not even now, like I still like I'm always like looking for new places to get like just bits of like information, like new skills, or even just like hobby stuff. Like I'm always like I love games, but so the YouTube the YouTube channel, Did You Know Gaming? Like I love that because it's like just small obscure pieces of like tidbits of info, and I'm like I love that stuff. Like I absolutely like thrive off like Shinfo, and I love that stuff.
And it's stuff obviously which can then translate into looking at the little tiny bits of design. You know,
Yeah, it does.
It's just that natural kind of.
There's like there's a full everything comes full circle
full
eventually.
Circle,
And I guess I'm just hungry and have too much energy for me to be relatively just standing still for a while.
Yeah. I understand that. So, like, well, talk me through your creative, like your process of creating work. Like, evidently, I've seen it yesterday, and I've been capturing images, but
from the beginning,
first-hand account, from your starting to the end.
So from the beginning, it starts with a client, because at the end of the day, I'm getting paid for a service to bring someone's vision to life.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. So right at the beginning of the creative process, it is all about getting the client's idea from them and dissecting what they say to me and what they tell me. Because at the end of the day, if I don't do what they want, I've done a bad job.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of the project, it's about sitting down with the client, it's talking through their business or band or brand or whatever it is, talking about their future goals, why they're doing it. Everything they tell me is something what I'll transfer. And once I've had all my notes and we went back and forth on like even just like kind of what they're into, that's when I start sketching, and it starts off pencil, paper, nothing else. Well, a pen, I guess, as well. Everything's on paper just to get my ideas out there. And once I've done a bunch of paper like mess ups here and there, I'll start putting into Illustrator if it's like branding, for instance, and then I will start digitally developing from there. But everything starts from the pen and paper stage, regardless if it's branding, album artwork. Everything starts off as a NAF, pen, pencil, sketch on paper, really, and then just develops from there.
Okay, sound. So, like, finally, then, what would you kind of like to say to like about your work or about the process to people that might not always understand or might overlook the process or overlook designing and like, graphic design as a whole, as a industry?
Okay, so a lot of what design is like kind of like to do with like business, isn't it? Like the forefront of it, like your branding, and that branding's important because it's not just about like a logo.
Yeah.
And like album artwork, you know what album artwork is. Like everyone knows what it is. It's in the name. But when it comes to branding, especially, it's something that people like go, well, what is branding? And branding is like your tone of voice. It's how you are perceived by others. It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't quite understand that, or people don't really realise that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think like one thing that like I think like people need to realise with not just design, but like with like photography, videography, animation, or anything in the creative sector, such as like music, it's not a snap your fingers answer. Nothing is. And I've had before where clients have been, well, why doesn't this do this? Like, I want it to be like this, and I don't like this. Well, why don't you like this? You need to tell me.
Yeah.
Which is why at the beginning of a project I spend so much time with a client, because I need to translate their words into design effectively. But I think if there's anything I wanted to say would be like, it's not just an instant process. And anyone who says they can do full branding in a day is talking, can I swear? Is talking bullshit. Oh, how about? Oh, sorry.
It's fine.
Oh, anyone who says they can do branding in a day is talking bullshit, frankly. And that's the honest truth. Like it takes far much longer to do like a full good brand and actually do your research for it and actually know what you're talking about. Anyone who says, yeah, I can do this like quick as anything, don't believe them. Like, because a good product takes time, and clients should clients, like people in general, I think need to be more aware of that. Like, go to someone who is properly trained or experienced and take a little bit longer, rather than trying to rush stuff out, because time and time again it's a massive pitfall for clients, for me. Like, when they're like, I want to have this done now, and it's like, well, I'm not going to get this done now because I'm going to do it properly. Your brand isn't going to run away. Nothing's going to run away. Like, you've got it like safely. If you're on a deadline, that's their fault. Like, that's something like they'll have like planned way in ahead and not calculated something. Which, you know, I personally, I can go, yeah, I can work to this deadline, it'd be doable, but like a day, but no, don't rush stuff.
Yeah,
it's not going to run away, I guess.
That's fair. That's fine. Well, thank you very much, mate.
Thank you. Can I do like a name drop?
Yes, you can.
So my name's Rob. I own a design studio called Bonehead's Home, and I own a clothing brand called Skulls and Stuff. Limited as heck, rad as heck. Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you.
I didn't know what to say.
No, that's fine. It's fine.